Okay, officially, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Wednesday Market Midpoint. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, keep in mind what we do here for education and illustrative purposes only. Any decision made should be at your own risk. We don't give recommendations. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. Yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do? We're going to look at today's opening analysis. What are the futures showing us? What is the news that's come out? What is the news that we're waiting for? Big news won't come until after market close. And it'll only be a few minutes. After the close, we're going to look and see what the NVIDIA earnings are. That's really taken a forefront position as top of investors' minds these days, representative of the trade, the trade mindset around tech. Show us why the Apple alert. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a quick peek at our posture. What's shifting, if anything? What's maintaining? What's improving or weakening? Little discussion about open trades. We've got a few on. They've started fine. Nothing huge. Just sort of inching along. We'll see. Review the opportunity list, any setups that we see, and then one last chance at this pass on the trading plan. We are working on Section 8, which is goals. If you don't have a couple, you should set a couple. Even something like, my goal is to strengthen my trading plan. Oh, how are you going to measure that? People say, what does that mean, measure? You can't measure that. Of course you can. Every time we stop and talk about a trading plan component, I'll ask people, score it from 1 to 10. What is yours? That's something that we do on a regular basis. In fact, we haven't done it in a while, but that's a good working session where we go one component at a time of the 8 trading plan sections. We look at it and we say, what should it be? What is yours? Oh, mine's a 5. Great. Make it an 8. Now it's quantifiable. Now it's your quantification, but still. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Let's go. Let's look at it. Let's start with Apple. Let's think about rules, trading rules. What are we trying to do? I want to trade in direction of momentum. And you can see what is the momentum that we've had on Apple. Well, so Apple was kind of stuck in this consolidation. And then it broke out. Then kind of consolidated. Still for me, this here worked out fine coming out of this earnings announcement. We had an acceleration. Boom. Higher high. Then the sellers have their cycle. That's here. So buyers, what did the buyers do? Let's just isolate it. Buyers did what? Well, they came with a lot of strength when you look at that volume down there. Okay. Then there's this pullback by the sellers. And then we evaluate, well, what did the sellers do? We look down here. And we say, man, look at that volume. What does that tell us about the sellers? It says they don't have very much. Then we look at this new support level. What is a support level? A demand level, you might hear, where the sellers stop selling and the buyers start buying. Well, we see that shift right there at my little red line. And that created a higher low, and it created a support level. And you can see down here at our stochastics, oversold, getting ready to turn. Very much like this one. Much like this one. Much like this one. Yeah, even these two here, right? Let's just kind of go back in history. What happens? Even when it doesn't work very well, it still works. Hence the alert. Questions, comments, concerns. Now you can see I'm looking aggressively. I'm saying our last move on Apple was a strong move, full of volume, full of above average volume, which means full of institutional buying. You and I can't really raise volume at will. We don't have that capacity as retail traders. So when we see volume like we have in that box, the thought process is it's institutional, and there it is. That's the alert. Questions, comments, concerns. Now, here's the deal. Remember, if you're ever looking at an alert and you're like, I don't see it, great. If it doesn't match your specific rules, don't trade it. Confirmation of trend. Yes, absolutely. And you can see volume's a big piece for me, right? Volume is a big piece for me. Let's go take a look at this. All right, let's look at this here. Give me just a half of a second. I have to go shut a door. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. What's going on? Why stocks shrugged off Trump's boldest move yet? Maybe. I think that it's a test, but they're going to see what happens in the courts, I guess. I don't know. Interesting. So you can see the futures are just flat today. They were flat yesterday. In fact, yesterday they were a little bit down, and then we ended up advancing just a little bit in the markets overall. S&P down 0.03, Dow 0.02, NASDAQ 0.02, Russell minus 0.3, VIX up marginally. The VIX is sitting around 15. There's nothing really there. NVIDIA is on deck. The SPX, as you'll notice here, the only thing we have open right now are the ES. The ES are the E-mini S&Ps or the true minis, but the futures are pretty flat. If I'm within 0.15%, one side or the other, I'm going to say we're flat on the open. If we're up or down 0.25 to 0.5%, I'd say marginally. I mean, it's an up or down. If it gets to where you're, 0.5 to 1%, then you're like, ooh, now there's something happening here. But yeah, it's a pretty flat open. You'll notice if you look at the last couple of days now, since Friday, what have we had? We have this line, right? You can see this line. That's flat. We've been flat for 3 days. What does that tell us? It tells us that the buyers and the sellers are somewhat at equilibrium. And we're waiting to see what's going to break that tie. Who's going who's going to go heavier first and based on what information. And of course, we still think that today's news after market's going to be a big driver. You might think to yourself, oh, well, yeah, look, the stochastics, part of it's popped up here and it's starting to pinch. Okay. Something like this. Right? Does what we see now look kind of like this? And if I keep drawing that up, it looks like this. Same kind of thing, 3 days straight. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Right? That's why we don't look down at the stochastics first. We don't go, oh, the stochastics has rolled over. This thing's going down. What? No. What do you mean? Stochastics pinched here. And then what happened? Kept on going. Overbought means there's still buyers. So overbought's not a condition that we should ever be afraid of. We should be aware of, but not afraid of. Right? And same thing back here. You can see all while this was going up, we kept having little, it's turning. Nope, just keeps going. So what is our thought process here? Well, what is our trend? Trend is up. Trend is your friend. Until the end. And if it rhymes, it's true. We all know that. It's common knowledge. So yeah, we started down 0.13. Now we're down 0.07. Flat. We're going to watch. We're going to see the opening range. You might say, what do you mean by the opening range? For me, it's 20 minutes. I watched the first 20 minutes. I look at the high, the low, what they try to do, and then how it plays out of that range. If it breaks out of the opening range to the upside, more likely to see follow through there. If it breaks the opening range to the downside, more likely to see follow through there. It's actually a fairly common day trading strategy. Waiting for the opening range and then trading off of it. Am I day trading it? No. Oh, there really hasn't been a lot to day trade. In fact, when I look at, so there is the start of the market. Let's go take a peek at. Now, what's changing? Nothing. We're still in line with this trend that we've been in line with. Let's draw it. I'm going to use a straight line. I'm going to say that's the bottom of our trend. And, oops. And I'll say this is the top of our trend. People will say, well, Scott, this thing got above your line right here and right here. Yeah, we're not dogmatic when it comes to drawing trend lines. I want to draw trend lines where 90% plus of the price action that I'm trying to encapsulate is in my trend lines. So if all I have is this little drift here and this little drift here, but I connect everything else, that's a good trend line. So what do I have here? Good trend. Now, is it getting to the top of this trend line? Not yet. And if it doesn't, then I'll be a little concerned. I'll be like, ooh, what's going on there, buddy? If it turns a bit sideways like this, then I might be a little bit more concerned. And I might say, I might have to take a quarter point away from my trend score. That's not happening. It's right where it needs to be. Staying the same as of now. Yeah? If I go to the weekly chart, anything happening there? Nope. Staying the same as of now. I go down to the 1 month. I look at the volume. Anything new? Nope. This is about to fall off or at least get real stale over here. Let's take a look at Nvidia's down. Yeah, but I mean, it's down 0.36%. Again, I'm going to say that looks flat. We just had the buyers come in and push this thing up back almost to the old high. So we're kind of pushing near resistance. But when we get to this report after the market, all bets are off. All bets are off. Press exactly said the same thing. He said, I think the whole market is holding its breath, waiting for there's the equilibrium in advance of that news. What is clearly likely to be binary news. It's going to cause something to go. We just don't know what the news is going to be, what the reaction is going to be, and then we'll know. So yeah, we're a little bit watching and waiting. Okay, let's keep going. I believe we're having the right discussion. Anything else that we're looking for in here? NVIDIA is the big news. Kohl's surges. Cracker Barrel jumps as they revert back to their old logo. Nobody liked the new logo. Don't they do like testing with that stuff? Or do you think they just were like, we should do this? And then they throw it out and they're like, nobody likes it. I would think there was some market research done. Apple's still a good pick. Miguel's here. I agree. In fact, we actually reviewed that Apple trade a little bit. Looking for some momentum from some leaders. Love it. Hope the kids are enjoying their new classes. Miguel. It's always when you're younger and you're like, who's in my class this year? I always like that part. And then I'm like, oh, I'm back in school. Then I didn't like it. It's like I got like 9 minutes of like excitement, and then it was just back to the grind. I don't see much else. Abercrombie & Fitch raises annual sales forecast as affluent shoppers keep spending. Oh, well, good for the rich people. Some 50% tariffs on India imports. My wife was always like, oh, I'm going to miss them. I'm like, nah, get them in school. Get them out of here. Okay. Calendar. Still not much today. We got one Fed speak. Nothing really there. Tomorrow we have jobless claims. It's expected to stay. So whatever else we got from the downward revisions from the Department of Labor on non-farm payrolls. Certainly no one likes that. But our jobless claims is staying stable. There's not a big expectation of increased weakness in the labor market until I see it. Tomorrow, just got into Apple. There you go. Love it. Or Friday, we have something. We have income, spending, and PCE. This is the news that really the market is watching. You can see that the expectations are for it to drop a little on the PCE, rise a little on year-over-year core PCE, and stay flat on the other two. So, there you go. Okay. Market's open. Let's go take a look at, well, it's been open, but let's go take a look at some trades. Let's go see how things are doing. Apple's starting to move. Moving into profitable, or moving into positive territory. Good morning, Kami. Good to see you. Yeah, I think the Apple looks pretty good. Archer Daniels flagging. A little pullback maybe happening there. Amazon's trying to move it forward a little bit. APH, you can see it's just kind of like creeping up, and it's starting to lag a little behind my trajectory line, which is why I like to have that there. It's not, like, oh, what am I going to do? But it's Wednesday. If by Friday this thing hasn't started catching up or started to show, then yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit more anxious about it and take some off, take all of it off. We'll see what happens. It looks fine. It's up 0.5%. It's up a little bit overall, but let's keep an eye on this thing. AXP still moving. BAC kind of topping out a little bit. There's some strength there on the next pullback. BTI dropped, stabilizing. That looks interesting. That looks interesting. Defensive stock. Beyond, I don't know. It's kind of creeping along. City, same thing. City's interesting. I mean, if it can get through here, it gets back on that trajectory. Caterpillar's got a little mini cup and handle going on. Above the 50. If this thing turns, I'd still be interested in taking another stab at it. CCJ. So CCJ for me is kind of in this consolidation. I don't see anything there right now. I need more. Show me something more. CELH, getting ready. You might be thinking, oh, it's red. Yeah, it's pulling back, setting up. This is moving into a viable position. The volume is not concerning. Momentum up, mild pullback. That's a trade setup coming. CLS was a good move and still moving. Capital One. Still going. This was not one I would trade unless I see a breakout. I don't think this is enough to consider a breakout. Delta still moving. DoorDash just kind of grinding along. DoorDash owes money. The Dow looks okay. Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree had this pullback, and we were thinking, but then it's just been doing this so long, and now earnings are here. You're just like, yeah, there's nothing there. Strong trend going into that. EA. Same kind of a thing. Now this one had a good shot of momentum, and then it just sort of is tapering off there. Not good. No follow through. Estee Lauder, no. Expedia, strong, but not really viable now. Ford, same thing. Futu on a pullback, maybe setting up for its next move. This thing just keeps moving. GE gave a signal, I would say even all the way back here. Made this turn, and it's trying to go. Honestly, a lot of the things we're looking at are looking for follow-through. And what's going to give us follow-through? Some kind of news. We got to have some news if we're gonna get the catalysts we need. GE Vernova, very similar. Gold down a little, sideways overall. Google. It turned pretty quickly, and now it's on a little bit of a hiccup. You can see crossing back below that line. Anybody in Google? I wouldn't have been surprised if someone took it. Goldman looks okay. Hasbro, okay. Robinhood is just sort of, it's not going up, but it's not going down. I know a couple people pulled the trigger. Yeah, you're still kind of in a watch and see. It's still stage 2 out of 4 stages. Stage 1 is the pre-trade. That's the due diligence. Stage 2, we've pulled the trigger and we're what? Waiting for momentum. Waiting for development. Yeah, you're in, you're watching, you're kind of just trying not to get in the way. Stage 3 is momentum. Stage 4 is nearing completion. The way we manage trades changes as we think about that. There's a video about that, by the way. If you haven't been into the education courses, I'd recommend it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. In the trading fundamentals class, you'll actually find a video about the stages of a trade and how our mindset and actions change based on what stage the trade is in. How met? Nothing there for me until it has a break of this consolidation. IBM, no. Intel, still kind of choppy. IWM. Small caps are doing all right. Up over 0.5% now. So we started down. And what? And now we see some buying. Joby. Down. Where is the watch list listed now? It gets updated about like once or twice a month. I don't sit and keep it, but it is located. It's a great question. Let me show you exactly where it is. If you go here under alerts and resources and you click on links, no. If you click on group downloads, current group watch list, right here, and you click on this, bam, you download it right there. I believe it's not in here. That's the only place. That's where it is. Great question. KKR, no. Levi, oh, look at Levi's. I wasn't sure about Levi's here on this, but it's moving. Now, what does that tell us? Well, seeing some retail stocks moving is helpful out of the consumer discretionary space. Adding consumer discretionary to our sector rotation is one of the things that we're looking for to raise that score. Oops, I took the wrong thing. Our sector rotation is one of the places that's sort of lagging a little bit here. Everything else, the VIX score is great. The trend scores are okay. Volume is positive. Major markets, sector rotation, that's missing 0.5 point. That would put us to the 6s. Right? So if we start to see consistent money flowing into growth sectors, like consumer discretionary, like industrials, like financials, in addition to technology and comm services, which is tech adjacent, if we get all 5 firing, that puts us in a stronger market back into the 6s, which we haven't seen. We have not seen. We've gotten close, but we have not seen the 6s since prior to tariff reveal party day, which ended up putting us down into these negative numbers. But I'll tell you what, if you go back and find the last time we were in the 6s, that was back here in November and December. You look at that market and you'll be like, yeah, I definitely want those 6s and 7s to come. Better trading, better money for all of us. So definitely keep an eye on that. Okay. Light Lumentum still did all right. This was a new one to us. Made its move. All right. Keep watching. Las Vegas Sands a little overextended. Meta. Meta tried to get a signal here and is immediately in a hiccup. If you traded Meta on this signal, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Trend was up, just made a new high, higher low, good turn on the stow, and then it just paused because, unfortunately, stocks just don't behave the way we want. Hey, behave, do as you're told. Good luck. We put it on. We give it a little bit of leeway. The leeway is also potentially informed by market conditions. If I'm a 6, I'm going to give it a lot more leeway than if I'm a 3. Right? Morgan Stanley. Well, it's trying. There's things that are trying. Microsoft does not look good. You might be thinking, Scott, are you thinking of trying to pick this up on a bounce of the 50? Absolutely not. And it does owe me some money. But this is in a consolidation. I can't do anything with this until it does what? Busts out, pulls back, higher or low. Boom, boom, boom. I need that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Break the consolidation. Give me the high that represents buyers regaining some control. Then final confirmation is the sellers failing to push it back down. Right? That shift. Oh, that shift. Whatever else anyone wants to tell you about systems or strategies or setups, this beautiful pattern right here. I go back over time and just show you time after time after time that pattern works. That's why we look for it. Micron, maybe we got the new high. Kind of a big pullback, but it held the 50, and we're down here thinking, is this thing gonna turn? Maybe it gives me this, maybe it gives me this, and I have some potential. I don't know. We'll see. Chips are definitely in flux a little bit. Netflix. We were looking at Netflix yesterday, building a bull call spread. We definitely found a way to put this trade on for $120 per contract, rather than the outrageous amounts you'll have to pay if you buy the options outright. But the trade's just not there right now. I guess maybe it's just pausing. This is the pattern. We'll see if it completes or not. That is what I'm looking for. NOC, still in setup mode. Still in consolidation. So imagine if you just drew your line like this. Yeah, I'm looking to see if this thing can find a support level. Nvidia still down a little today. Down a little more. I think we're down about 1%. Yes. So a little bit of pre-earnings jitters potentially here. PGY hitting some resistance. PLTR. A lot of the chip stocks are kind of in this trying but failing to launch. Why? Well, they're all doing the same thing, waiting for Nvidia. That's not a coincidence. The Qs looks very similar. It's trying, and then it's just sort of holding a little bit here. Roblox tried, and it's pausing. Reddit. Okay, even this morning it was up here for a minute, and then it's back down here. I'm okay with this. It's nothing's. I mean, you're like, oh, it's down. Kind of, but it also was up a little bit. Like we can't get. Don't let yourself get so whipsawed emotionally by the minutia of the day to day, the ticks. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. Take a breath. Step away. Fundamentally, the trade is still there. It's still in the setup. It's still what we were looking for. Rocket Lab made a move, a recovery move for some people who maybe stayed with it. If that's you, now what? As you see this thing starting to pinch, and for me, this is the pattern. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. There's the break, new high. Now, anything over here would be a higher low. Looks good. But if you're in it, you've got to decide, do I stay in and hold for that? SLV, nothing there. SoFi, real strong. Now it's pulling back. If this thing pulls back into this range, yeah, it's got a nice trend. That's kind of what we're looking for. SPY is flat. TME. Ooh, took a dip today. Holding on, though. Holding on. It's a hammer type pattern. Do I love that it tested down here? No. Is it still sort of holding up? I mean, yesterday it looked fine. Today I'm going to see where we finish. We never want to come to too strong of a conclusion in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the day. I'll promise you that. Gonna roll Rocket Labs. Okay. Working orders. It's one of those things. You'll sometimes catch that, and like you'll hear my it'll be like early, first 10 minutes we're starting the session, and all of a sudden you'll hear bring, and I'll be like, you'll hear me gasp a little because I'm like, that's not supposed to happen. And I think, Miguel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, that happens. Bring, no, that's not that noise. Nothing was supposed to fill. I inevitably know that when I go look, it's going to be something that I'm not happy about. Uber's holding up. It's doing fine. It's not really an entry time. The dollar's fine. Visa. Come on, Visa. Let's look at the VIX today. It's not very fearful. Does it look like it's finding kind of like this bottom here? I definitely don't want it to break out, but it's pretty tight. It's pretty low. Not a lot of fear in the market right now. Walmart. Oh, grand opening this morning. The new Walmart right by my house. It's nice. It's new. It's a new design. You're like, ooh, this is like the nicest Walmart I've ever seen from the outside. It's like a different feel. I haven't been inside obviously yet, but I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, that's it. That's our watch list. What's the takeaway here? Be patient. Don't let this opening 20 to 30 minutes derail you. Let's see what happens. Let's see where we end up. We'll talk about it later. Oh, not today. Nothing happens today. Tomorrow, we still have our evening sessions. First is Glenn. I'll be second. Have a plan. Stick to the plan. We'll have to see what happens when the NVIDIA earnings come out later this afternoon, and then how the market processes it. Don't be surprised if things just chop around a bit today. So, all right. Well, there it is. That's our time. It's good to see everybody. Glad to sit and hang out while we watch the market open together. Remember that Glenn will be on tomorrow. There's no afternoon session today. That's been pushed. It's now a Thursday morning market open. So Glenn will be with you at this time tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. See you soon. As always, happy trading.